Completion resolution work is probably my favorite topic when it comes to healing anxiety, reducing stress, and getting over severe trauma symptoms. To put it simply, the body and mind want to do what they never got to do. That's what a fight-flight response is. So when a person doesn't get to respond in a healthy way, like Peter Levine says, trauma is not the event, it's how you respond, then that adrenaline is continuing to bubble in the body and the mind, and we will not have resolution until we get to complete our fight-flight response. A fight-flight response is simply a healthy response to an adverse situation, to any negativity. When it is thrown in your face, it's either too overwhelming or it's too much, or you simply had never learned boundaries from the family you grew up with. There could have been a lot of denial and people making everything okay. So then when life presented a negative situation, maybe you just allowed it instead of saying, that doesn't feel good. That is a healthy response. So from little ones to huge abuses, we as humans want to say and do what we never got to do, and there is no time when it comes to that. There is no time heals, absolutely not. Completion and resolution heal. And I work with this all the time, and I'll put videos on my YouTube channel of real life examples of how this happens with clients. And we as humans it will feel like something that was 10, 20 years ago will feel absolutely present moment until we get to work through that. Now that doesn't mean you have to go call the person and say what you need to say or meet with them and do what you need to do. You can do it in a session, you can do it in your mind's eye and with your body with the support of someone else. And why I say someone else is trauma usually happens because someone else wasn't there to protect you, or you weren't able to protect yourself, so you needed somebody else there to protect you. So you'll want to do it with somebody else. It feels good to be loved and supported at the highest, most stressful, highly activating times. And so getting that completion, if it's moving away from an abuser or saying what you never got to say, will lie dormant in you until you get that. And that is the root of, I believe, what I've seen, our anxiety, our depression, our overthinking, feeling stuck. And it can be hard to see because it lies so dormant. But if you're having these symptoms, just give yourself that gift. What in my life do I not feel complete about? How could I have more resolution? Who can I call? And that's the information I want to put out there for people. And the tools is working with a therapist or a psychologist that is trained in knowing the body, the somatic experiencing work is key. So you can work with the mental and the physical both together and get that completion work and be free of it. And if it's something you still can do it in the present moment. I've reached out to a lot of old people, old friends that I didn't get to say the things I wanted to because I wasn't in a healthy state. And that feels really good. And it's not to be attached to wanting an end result. It's for yourself. It's giving yourself a gift. It's not how is that person going to respond. You're doing it for you. And in turn, it is being of service to someone else if they want to receive it. If not, you're not hurting anyone. You're speaking your truth. And you're giving yourself the gift of completion and resolution to be free of any of your stress and trauma and not be bullied or if you did do something wrong, you're forgiving yourself and letting others have the opportunity to forgive you. If they don't, again, that's not your problem. You're doing it. You're asking for forgiveness. You're owning your part. And all of that has to do with the completion resolution work. What did I not get to say? I'm sorry for being like this. It's not okay that you did this. I want to punch somebody or something. I'm not going to go punch that person, but I can get that adrenaline out of my body by pushing against a wall. Or with the right practitioner or therapist, I can push away and get that trembling adrenaline that's been lying there bubbling out of my body. So I just wanted to offer these tools to get that support you need to know that it is out there, because I run into people every day, all the time, that don't realize I don't have to live with this weight on my shoulders. There's something I can do about it, just me, myself, and I. And I don't have to involve the other party, even though it's from the past. I can send an email or make a phone call and say what I need to. I've had people do it to me, and I've done it, and it feels amazing. It is a bit of a roller coaster because your ego has to get out of the way because you're being vulnerable to open up and be truthful and say and do these things. But it is so freeing. And everybody talks about how important it is to get present. They just want to be present. For me, I've seen in order to really get present, change your state of being, live from that high energy place that you want, this has to happen first. People try to move into forgiveness and compassion without first getting that completion and freeing themselves of the burden that they've lived with is very difficult. It can be done, but I see how they get pulled back into their old pattern or their old negative state of being, and they just can't shake it off, and they'll just sink. And really, in order to float and rise above it, just tell yourself, I can say and do anything I need to forgive my past, to complete it, to stick up for myself. And I can get clear about it and talk to the right person. And I can do that now. And I can be free and more present to live my life fully from this moment on as a lighter person, regardless of what that other person may think or feel. Or maybe they're out of your life, or maybe they've passed on. Either way, you don't need to carry it anymore. And completion, resolution is the answer to getting out of that freeze, numbness, completing your fight response, and doing it with a somatic experiencing practitioner is what I'm trained in, to me is so key. So just knowing that that's available hopefully can give you hope, and I'll put links in the description so that you can get started on this work right away. Thanks so much.